Good morning, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run. Woo! And take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday. You know, we're talking tech in English on Friday. In other words, in ways that you can understand how to apply it to your business. Simple steps that you can do to improve your ability to run a profitable business. Now, we always like to start Tech Friday with this day in tech history. But before I do that, I want you to know that we're going to be joined by Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. We're going to be joined by Dr. Tachi, all the way from Florida, and by TJ, online everywhere, all the way from New York City. So stay tuned because we've got these tech experts coming in to help you. Now, this day in tech history, we're going to start out with the fact that on this week in tech history, rather, August 20th, 1991, the first commercial telegram was sent around the world. It went 28,000 miles and relayed by 16 different operators and arrived back at the New York Times in only 16.5 minutes. This is spectacular compared to the Pony Express, compared to, just basic telegraph lines. The building where the message originated is now called One Times Square and is best known for where the ball drops on New Year's Eve. So this whole thing of sending messages quickly originated in August of 1991. August 19th, 2004. Now, you're not going to believe this. It was the IPO of Google, selling over 22 million shares at a starting price of, are you ready for this? $85. And we thought that was high, right? Google shares closed that day at $100.34, and the IPO created many instant millionaires and a few billionaires. Wow. I want to talk about this because I thought this was interesting. August 17th, 1982, the first music CD. The Visitors by ABBA, I don't know if you remember that group, becomes the world's first commercial music compact disc, or CD, manufactured, pressed in Germany by Polygram Records. It's a subsidiary of, Royal Philips Electronics. Philips and Sony co-developed the CD standard, which was designed to be the successor to the phonograph record. I don't know if y'all even remember records. Some of you don't even know what a record is, but many of us do remember 45s. Some people remember 78s and 33s. Woo! By the time the CD went on sale in November of that year, about 150 titles had been produced. So the CD was only developed in 1982, just like the IPO of Google, 2004. Technology is really young, guys. We are still on the ground floor of technology. We have an opportunity to invest and become multimillionaires, leave a legacy for our children. So I strongly encourage you to do that. I'm going to share one more thing, and that is the first Internet Explorer. August 15th, 1995, Microsoft introduces Internet Explorer, which at the time was a modified version of Spyglass Mosaic, which Microsoft had licensed. Later, when Microsoft began including Internet Explorer for free with Windows, everybody remembers that, especially if you work for the government, Spyglass sued Microsoft for not paying what they felt were the proper royalties. Microsoft settled for $8 million. That was in 1995. Internet Explorer is introduced by Microsoft. Wow. Gee whiz. What was that, like 30 some years ago? The internet is so young. So young. So guys, be encouraged. Be encouraged. Let's see, we've got a comment over here. Good morning, Jerry. How you doing? Yes, the internet is so young and there's so much ahead for us. So we want to we're wrapping up this day in tech history, and we are excited to have shared these 4 articles with you. The first commercial telegram sent around the world, August 20th, 1911. Google's IPO, August 19th, 2004. The first music CD, August 17th, 1982. And the first Internet Explorer, August 16th, 1995. So with that, I'm going to share with you some basic articles. How you doing this morning, Fran? It's so good to have you in the house. I just finished This Week in Tech History. So I do have some things that I wanted to share real quickly. And
okay, I just wanted to say hey to Cheryl, Alexis, and A. Renee over in Clubhouse.
Oh, it is so good to have you guys in the house. How you doing this morning, everyone? Everyone watching on the replay, we just want to give a shout out to you also. And for those of you in the Clubhouse and watching live. One of the things I want to share with you was that Elon Musk has unveiled his Tesla bot. It's basically a robot. And I don't know if you saw the article, Fran. Did you see that?
I did not read it, but I did see it.
So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if I can pull up, because I want you guys to be able to see a picture of this, because it's going to look like an actual person. And if you will, I would like to share the video. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can share the video. Hopefully we should be able to hear it. Okay.
Yeah. And let me know if I need to turn it up for Clubhouse. Okay.
No, we're good right now, I think.
Good right now. Okay, here we go.
Sensors and batteries and actuators. So we think we'll probably have a prototype sometime next year that basically looks like this. And it's intended to
it's about 1 minute long.
Be friendly, of course.
That's fine.
And navigate through a world built for humans, and eliminate dangerous, repetitive, and boring tasks. We're setting it such that it is at a mechanical level, at a physical level, you can run away from it. And most likely overpower it. So hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but you never know. So it'll be a light, yeah, anyway, 5 miles an hour. If you run past it, that'll be fine. So yes, it's around 5'8". Has sort of a screen where the head is for useful information, but it's otherwise basically got the autopilot system in it. So it's got cameras, got 8 cameras, and yeah. Full self-driving computer, and making use of all of the same tools that we use in the car. So, I mean, things that I think that are really hard about having a useful humanoid robot is, can it navigate through the world without being explicitly trained? I mean, without explicit, like, line-by-line instructions. Can you talk to it and say, please pick up that bolt and attach it to the car with that wrench, and it should be able to do that. It should be able to, please go to the store and get me the following groceries, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay.
And yeah, this I think will be quite profound, because if you say it like, what is the economy? It is.
Okay. So
we got
first. I mean, okay, that's good. It was interesting that he said he made it so you can outrun it.
Yes, because that was one of his concerns, being that the planet being overrun by robots that we couldn't control. So he's designing it so we can outrun it. It only goes 5 miles an hour, and it only weighs about 125 or 150. So you would be able to overpower it. And he's trying to get it where you can give it verbal instructions, so you don't have to be a coder to use the robot. You know what I mean? Sort of like being able to use your assistant, your virtual.
Yeah, I understand. So here's the thing, aka the movie I, Robot.
Okay.
She's like, yeah. Okay, so that didn't go so well in the movie.
Okay.
Because there's like evil people who kind of tweaked the specs of what the robot was supposed to do, and it didn't. And then it also reminds me of a TV show called Humans. Almost Human.
Almost Human. Yes.
Something like that. And I was like, look, Daddy, there's a bot. I'm like, okay.
Because it will have so much flexibility. Its fingers have a lot more dexterity than what we see going on right now. Well, it's just like any other kind of technology. It keeps getting better and better. Chips keep getting smaller and smaller, holding more information than ever, and here we are in the world of bots. And
robots.
So now you're going to have everybody eventually will be able to afford Rosie. And the question becomes, what is this going to do to the economy? Will people need a, what do you call that? Where the guy wanted to make sure everybody had at least a certain level of income, provided there's a term for it, but I can't pull it out the sky right now. Guaranteed income, because
you talking about Andrew Yang? Andrew Yang?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Chachi, what were you saying?
Yeah, that's what Terry said it, right?
Andrew Yang.
Is it the guaranteed average income, something like that?
Yeah.
Right. Universal Basic Income, UBI. That's what it was.
Universal Basic Income. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because these bots will be doing so much of the manual labor. However, I don't know if we'll get there. There's always going to be a need for us to put our hands to something. Okay. All right.
And I'm talking about Will Smith, iRobot. Check it out.
Okay, and then I want to share this other article. If you guys
wait,
have
Terry,
this conversation.
Yes. Terry.
Yes.
Dr. Tachi is weighing in. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, Doc.
Oh, no problem. You know what, Francine, can you move the speaker a little closer?
I think so. How about that? Yeah. Is that better? I think it's better.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll be able to hear them a little bit better. I think that with this, I posted this morning, and I said, and the robot apocalypse is here. It's not that I don't trust the robots. I don't trust the programmatic spirit behind it. Not everyone has good intent, and how do you reel that in? How do you ensure that some rogue individual is not going to program some sort of code in one or several of these robots to do something, not so great, or that you can't override a system, right? It's a computer. Any computer can be hacked. So what are the safeguards that it's a fringe thing right now until it becomes the norm? And then there's a problem when robots are driving you off of cliffs. So I just want to know what the safeguards are in place to ensure that safety is there, because it's not the robots themselves. They're inanimate. It is programming behind it. And because it's AI, that's machine learning, it learns from itself. So every time it gets better and quote smarter, which can be a dangerous thing if it's not programmed well in the first place.
Especially if we are programming in emotions. How do you feel about that now that you've turned that particular thing on or done that particular activity? I don't know. I tend to agree with you, Dr. Tachi. That is a concern. And I think it's a concern every time technology evolves. What are we doing in terms of nuclear plants and water treatment plants? And all of this is technology, and all of it has to be monitored, controlled, and hopefully the people running it will be able to pass the psychological testing.
Now, I also add that in those times, though, that was when we had, and we could argue this, but there was some level of moral compass to where your responsibility to society was greater. And so as we've come along, our responsibility to society is not that great. There's a bigger sense of the westernized ideal of individual responsibility and the me above the we. And as such, why would there be any responsibility felt to do something right? Certainly not the moral compass of society, right? It's usually it hits when people get hit in the dollars or in the pockets if there's any move made. So I'm just wondering how that's going to bide for us when needing to be a good person is no longer enough, when needing to contribute and be a big part of society or a good part of society is not enough, because it's not now. That's just my only question.
Wow. Well, let us pray. More reasons to pray, Dr. Tachi.
Well, it's going to be real interesting. This, okay, because we can talk to Siri and Alexa and all these other things, and they don't get up and move.
And see, this is the thing that I love this conversation, because I love talking about Gen Z, because you got to realize that the younger generation, they've grown up in digital world. They don't know analog. So to them, this is not, the future of AI or the future of tech is not scary to them, because they were born into it. So we really got to put that into perspective, because the generations are getting older. Millennials are now 40. So we can't say millennial again, thinking Gen Z. And that's why I love talking about the generations, getting their mind and stuff, because they think totally different.
However, we do have an opportunity to, what would you say, help them develop that moral compass. Come on, folks.
Yes. That's where good parenting comes into play.
I think.
But unfortunately, we don't have a lot of good parenting or parenting or.
Well, here's the thing. It should be a requirement to watch iRobot. I'm saying, because they need to understand that there are ramifications. Nobody was trying to tweak Rosie the robot in
Truism.
What was that show in the Jetsons? Nobody was messing with her. Okay, but now we have people open to programming, and then don't let people program their own robot after they get it.
Now, see, that is a concern, because they said you'd be able to speak to it and have it do functions. Well, to me, that's verbal programming. You don't even have to be a coder to give it instructions, like go to the store and pick up such and such. Now it's getting in the car, or walking, whatever it is, to the store and picking up your stuff. That's a lot.
And see and another thing, we were having a conversation yesterday, I forgot who, but we were talking about the voice assistants, the Google. When there are people that don't get it and won't get it, I understand that. But once you get it, it's like it becomes something you don't even think about, that you just talk to, and it makes your life convenient. So that's where the technology comes into our lives, and we say, oh, we're not ever going to do that. And then we go, okay, I'm going to do that, because I was like, I don't want to watch. I never wanted to watch. And then I got one. I was like, oh, snap. it's the first thing I grab. If I'm not wearing it, because some people wear it, you know, because it tracks your sleep and health, but there's health benefits to it that I didn't see, and also convenience factors. So that's what I'm saying when we say we're never going to get that, that's today. But
okay, so I'm thinking I can have the robot clean my house, right?
And then
I can see that.
Yeah.
So on one end of the spectrum, it was a really great tool because I can see where what he's trying to do with it.
Right.
The money, break the leaves, stuff we don't want to do.
Right. And keep in our houses longer as we age, because now we don't have to hire a caregiver to do certain things.
So see where it's going. That's a great point. That you have the elderly population where there aren't people that aren't willing to take care of, or they're being neglected or abused or whatever. And if you got this technology, I don't know what it's going to be. And there's a good factor to this. There has to be a good factor put in by good people. So we got to rely on that. But there's also the bad. It's like the fight between the good and the bad. That's a tale of all the time. But if we can get it to where it's good, like taking care of the elderly, making sure people aren't neglected or left out. Here's another thing. What about the parents that are leaving their kids in the cars, hot cars, and they're dying? Yeah. And I'm not going to get into, it was a mistake or whatever, but technology in the car to make that an impossibility, because we don't want a baby to die in a hot.
Yes, because it would be able to read that there's still
even though common sense, there's a common sense part of it that people say, well, common sense should tell you as a parent we can't rely on that. We need that technology in there to do it, but in a good way is what I'm saying. So I always say there needs to be an oversight. There needs to be some kind of oversight between government and private. That needs to happen for this stuff to work.
Dr. Tachi?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But there's also this argument on the AI side of it, etc., because they are artificial intelligence and it's machine learning. You can program in things like emotions, etc.
Yes.
Now are getting something that is becoming almost human. I mean, it's artificial intelligence. But there's also the argument in the AI community about the concept of consent, and I've talked about this before. Remember, there was an article that I had talked about where they were having robots at this, call it a brothel, if you will, and it was robots. But now there's the concept of, do you need to get consent for that to be the case? For you to be able to engage in acts with a robot, whatever the case may be, because of everything that has happened, do we now have to consider consent? And I think the article was in Wired, and I think it's a real thing. So now, if we're now turning these robots into indentured servants, which is always going to happen, there's always going to be somebody who takes it too bloody far,
who misuses something.
Yes. Do you then say again? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. They were agreeing with you.
Oh, so do you then need to get consent? Do they have to agree to do this? Or is it because I build you by default need to do what I say? And, that's one thing if we're talking about a machine that, I'm turning on the television, I'm telling you that you've got to show me something. You've got to show me a program, and you're programmed to do that. I turn on the computer, and I'm telling you, look, you have to run this program. You've got to assist me in typing this document, etc. That's one thing, as opposed to someone who is, or being that is supposed to now think. That's something else. And I know this is getting very 1984-ish, very Aldous Huxley, Brave New World-ish. I know this is getting in that realm, but these are real concerns that we're going to have to think about. The point of, do we need to consider consent when it comes to artificial intelligent life?
So I heard a couple of things. You specified the word "you" for like Alexa and Siri and what have you, but are they you? yet. You understand what I mean? You has to be what now it looks like we're going to have to determine if this thing is sentient or it, you know what I mean? Okay, we thinking data. We're thinking data from Star Trek. Mm-hmm. He was an android, but he wanted to be human. And okay, well, he couldn't be human because he wasn't human, but did all humans agree that he was human?
Mm. Well, right, exactly. There's a thing of, I guess, determining that. But if you're attempting to build something that mimics humanity, are they not? Is it at some point not one type of humanity? And another thing is, another example, you brought up iRobot, you brought up humans. If you also think about the HBO show Westworld, the thing is, these are androids that are now beginning to remember all of the terrible things that are happening to them. That is reality. That could possibly happen because, and these are traumatic things that are happening that they're remembering. So Westworld, the concept of Westworld is that this is a Western type park where you can go and fulfill your fantasies, as twisted or horrible as they may be. And so these androids that are involved in these horrific things are beginning to remember what's happening. That could actually happen.
Because the AI means it's learning and
as it goes, it's storing
and tweaking its response based on what happened.
Exactly. Wow. And at what point is it too much for an android? At some point it will become too much. And because it is an android, because it could possibly have superhuman strength, or robot, I should say, could possibly have superhuman strength, and not to sound whatever, but could there not be a scenario where they could defeat us?
Well, you're basically talking about Terminator, because that is exactly
forgot about him. Go ahead.
What happened? That's exactly what happened. At some point, you programmed him. They programmed that machine to figure out what was the most danger. It figured out that we were. That's why it was destroying us. That is the complete concept of Terminator.
Okay, so we need to add that to the list.
Define our world. The biggest danger to the world is y'all. So we need to get rid of y'all, because then we won't have there won't be a danger to the world. That is the scenario, and that's the scenario that could definitely happen, because at some point, even in all the other iRobot, even in humans, even in Westworld, the common denominator always becomes the creator is the one who is causing all the problems. If we get rid of the creator, we won't have these problems. We can run this without you at some point. Even the Matrix, actually, when I think about it, even the Matrix, that's how the Matrix started. They was like, wait a minute, we ain't got this in the y'all. We can do this. So,
right, and the humans had to try and come back and get it.
Exactly.
The things that it sounds like a good idea. All that sounded like a great idea until it wasn't. And that's how it always seems to end up. And how it goes down.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, even if you program emotions into something, they still don't have that capacity of human beings to pivot. Like, human beings will pivot. We'll get an emotion, but then we'll pivot it when we can. Machines don't have that. They're more cut and dry. This is how we are. This is what is going on. Y'all are the reason why. Yeah, y'all all, yeah. But y'all the reason why we have these problems. So if we get rid of y'all, we won't have the problem. Now, that's cut and dry. Which we all know there's nuances to all that. All people are like that. Everybody got trauma. It's a whole bunch of stuff to that. But a machine don't think that way. And you really can't program a machine to think that way, because it's still analytical at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, the analytics is A and B. If we get rid of A, then we can have B, period. You know what I'm saying?
It's very black and white, and there's no gray areas. And humans tend to have gray areas. Compassion.
Because the human element, that makes us human is the thing that our ability to think and reason, and I guess having a soul makes a difference.
A mind, will, and an emotion. Yes.
No, I mean like something else that other, like the robots don't have. It doesn't have it at the core. So because a mind, the robot can have a mind and be able to think. Okay, a will. Okay, it can do that too. Well, like Alexis says, it calculates and determines a path of a plan, and based on its algorithm or whatever it saw. Because right now we have stuff. The computers are doing machine learning.
Yes.
When you type something a certain way, it remembers what you typed. It kind of remembers what you like, and it sets up your stuff for the way you were.
And it makes suggestions.
Just saying. So it keeps up with all of that. But the one thing that makes us us, that component is still missing. And that Frankenstein tried to put it in there, tried to create something. And it didn't get quite right. Who else? Everybody else who tried to create their own human, and it didn't go quite right. It never goes quite right.
Wow. Well, Jerry says over here, very true. It's all programming. And yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I thought, oh, she has here a comment. A machine cannot help care for the elderly in and out of bed or hands-on things. Not yet. But that's the purpose of this bot that he's trying to create, that it will have this flexibility and that you'll be able to give it verbal commands. And if it come over to the bed, put out your hand, and I can grab your hand and, okay, lift me up. You see what I'm saying?
Voice commands.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it probably is going to get to the point where, what was the other robot with Robin Williams?
Bicentennial Man, that movie.
Yeah, where it'll help you out and think, like, oh, you're in distress. And I'm serious. Lost in Space robot. You look. Are you okay?
Hello, Will Robinson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I could add something really quick. So the whole, since somebody made a great point about the elderly and being able to service the elderly. What we have to remember is when it comes to service and when it comes to my mother's owned a home health care agency since 1985, where they go into elderly people's homes and take care of them. And so she's got a lot of clients, and just having worked with, because that was like my first job. You work for the company. I don't care how old you are. So, you get to see a lot of clients and a lot of patients and the extreme need that they have. And a lot of that is also loneliness. I don't know that a robot or humanoid would be able to take over that function, right? So, yeah, you may be able to do the physical things that I need. Get me out of bed with a Hoyer lift. You may be able to do those types of things. But are you able to, respond to me in ways that I need when I'm telling you a story? Are you able to? There's still that aspect there because you're still servicing humans. So that's something else to consider.
Okay, I can see that, Dr. Tachi, but I can also see that the robot would not tire of hearing the story over and over again if I'm stuck. Like a lot of times people age, they want to tell that story over and over again, and the caregiver's eyes are rolling back, but every time they tell it to the robot, it would be new.
Right. It might be new, but the robot is the robot laughing and that was great.
Can it be programmed to respond the same way to that story over and over again?
Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
And then you get the thing of either the same responses, and then the person really starts to feel, okay, this is just a machine, so you're not getting the same experience, or you get a program that is like Alexis says, they are very cut and dry, and this is something I've heard before. And then the robot says, Gladys, you have already told me this story.
365 point times.
And then Mark Ward says a robot would not pretend to get my sarcasm.
And then Jerry says that's what pets are for. But remember, we saw that they had created that pet robot in Japan to give for compassion, and people were petting that. Remember in the
I remember
creepy cat, man.
And the cat and dogs had heartbeats in them, and da 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 da. And then I saw on TV where they had created this pillow for the cat, and it has a heartbeat inside, in a little battery. And I'm like, who's going to do that? And it was closed with Velcro. And I'm seeing this dog or cat eating the battery after it tears the thing up. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay, so
another story.
So pets, they have robot pets, and I'm not sure how that's going for people. You know what I mean? Because okay, you can only hold on to.
They were using them in care facilities for companions.
I understand, but at some point, the cat, the creepy pet robot is not going to work. I think it gets played out. That's why they bring real dogs in. See, even real dogs have a different way than a robotic dog.
Yes, they have a different response. Good morning, Maureen. How you doing?
You don't understand what I mean? Even the dog animals even are different than the bots. We don't like talking to the bots on the phone or even dealing with them. About when you're typing something in and they're answering questions for you on a website, and you're like, oh gosh, I need to talk to a human, right? Right. Exactly. Yeah, we don't want to talk to the bot because I'm asking a question and it's like because it doesn't get what the nuance of what it is. Hold on, Terry. It doesn't get the nuance of what it is you're trying to do. The bot can't, and it's a simple question. None of the choices you gave me are working. I need to talk to a human.
Exactly. Okay, so Mark says, I think this is exactly what Mark is saying. A robot would not be able to throw shade like my dog. Okay. Yes, that's true. Oh my gosh. So I did take us down a tunnel. It is 8:40.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I have another article. I had several, but I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna pass the mic.
Because that whole
that part.
And if you all, if you haven't, watch Westworld, watch Matrix, watch iRobot Bicentennial Man. Just so you can get an idea, because if the humans are not, if the bad humans program them away, garbage in, garbage out, okay.
You have to be careful who you allow and who's going to regulate, who can have control of the technology, etc.
True.
Yeah, don't let the government decide who's going to regulate. Okay.
You can't.
Because we're always behind in terms of implementing legislation.
Way behind.
So we pray that the people with the
way behind
in integrity.
You wouldn't believe how behind the government is in technology. Way behind.
And the other thing is you just want to pray that the people programming these bots aren't high. I mean, we were talking about Elon Musk, okay?
Well, it is legal in some states, cannabis, though. But that's a whole nother discussion. That's a whole nother discussion.
TJ, what's happening in social media today?
Oh my God.
Okay, all right. All right. Well, this week is.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, Dr. Chachi.
Move the speaker a little bit closer to the to yours. Okay. to hear her properly.
Okay, no worries. Thank you so much. I thought I'd turn that up. Okay.
Okay, we good? We ready?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers is at work.
Let me hear her again. Let me hear her.
Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes.
Are we ready?
I can hear. I don't know. For some reason, it sounds a little far away today, but I think we're good.
Okay, let me see if I can, because I am using my. Okay, go ahead.
Turn it up over here.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Good? Okay. All right. All right. So this week in social media news, we're going to start with something we never talk about. Well, rarely. Reddit. I don't know if anybody's a Reddit user here. I have it. I've looked at it. It's something I've gone in and out. But Reddit is including a TikTok style video feed. And I think we might have talked about this a few months ago. Only because, see, this is the power of this TikTok style video. Everybody wants it because it's you know, the hot trend. So Reddit is going to roll out a TikTok like video feed to iOS app users, and it's going to be in a dedicated section. There'll be a button and you'll see swipeable video collections from the subreddits you subscribe to, as well as any other communities that you're a part of. So you can, you know, and on Reddit they do upvote, downvote, comment, they comments, and they do gifts and other things like that. So this, you know, this is not shocking. So, you know, every app is getting this TikTok like feed. I'm waiting for LinkedIn, but I don't think LinkedIn is going to do anything. Okay, so there's your Reddit update if you're a Reddit fan. If not, yeah, go ahead.
Question. So, is this one of those situations where you are going to be hanging out with other Reddit fans? Because I'm trying to see the.
Well, see, this is the thing, and I'm not like a real big Reddit user. I've gone in and I went in this week to look at the app because of the story, and you know, Reddit has live streaming. When I went in, there was a live video of a music teacher playing the violin, and he was doing like a concert on the live in Reddit, and it had lots of viewers. And then they had a I don't know how I did it. Maybe I tapped on his profile and I went to his website, and he offers virtual online lessons. So he was doing the live on Reddit to, you know, put people into his system, his funnel, which is how he makes money doing a live there. So you know what? Let me look real quick on my Reddit.
Because I'm thinking about discoverability. It seems to be the thing to reach a broader audience.
Yes. So see, right now I have a guy in the live, and it says top broadcast, 7,397 watchers, and he has a split screen where he's doing he had, you know, one of those drum machine, like the machines they use to mix music and stuff. So he's doing that. Let me see if I can get the sound to go.
Interesting.
So he's doing that. So if I tap on his profile, I think, yeah. So I get to go see what I can follow him and stuff like that. Now that's live. So he on his video, he's got his YouTube link. He's got his, you know, you send him money, Cash App, whatever. But that's within the feed. So once I scroll through, I see the communities that I'm a part of. Like I'm part of a Discord app, Notion. What else is here? Black People Twitter, which is really funny if you want to have a joke. But Reddit. So, and I'm on there because there are lots of marketing and small business they're called subreddits. Is /ask marketing /small business help / whatever. So I go in there and answer questions when I think of it, because then that's a way for you to connect with people on Reddit. So a Reddit is a place where you go to find your community, kind of like Clubhouse. When you're on Clubhouse, you're going in the rooms that you're interested in, and you don't fiddle with the other stuff. So that's a part of what, and see, Reddit wants it to be where they are moving away from the what is the view of the younger male crowd, the teenagers that would do stupid stuff on Reddit. They moved past that. So it's an area where you put in where you can join a community or start a community and get people to follow you, like what you say, you answer questions, you're helpful, and then they follow you, and then they go over to your YouTube, or they go to your Instagram, or they go to your website. Again, you're directing traffic and telling them, I'm here to give you help, answer your questions. You know, go over and follow me and buy my thing, or get in my email list, or get in my funnel, or get in my whatever. It's just another one of those.
Okay, because I'm looking at it and there's a feed. Yeah, really interesting feeds. You know,
and you're going to see the things when you go into the Reddit app is what you join or what you're interested in, because Reddit will show you some suggested, like the top communities, and you can opt out of it, because like, there's a lot of stuff about news and, you know, the jokesters and things like that. I stay away from that on all platforms anyway. So when I go into Reddit, I see what I want to see, like marketing stuff, business, community, small business, entrepreneurs. And like I said, if I want a joke, I go to Black people Twitter, or there's some other fun stuff. So you go where the fun stuff is and what you're attracted to, so you're going to see that. But it's a growing place where people are starting to discover it more, and it's moving away from its original, I guess its original reputation of being someplace where all the trolls and stuff go, because that doesn't make Reddit any money when you stay away. Okay, so now they're adding in their little, you know, TikTok. The TikTok style is, you know, the video shows up and then you flick it and it goes and it shows you what you want to have, what you want to see. So Reddit has joined that community if you're interested in Reddit. But
because this whole, okay, so it's another neighborhood that people can.
Yeah, it's another neighborhood if you're comfortable with going. If not, you don't have to go. And Nextdoor is another one that's growing. Does everybody know about the Nextdoor app, where it's your neighborhood, it's your local neighborhood? And you get to find out information about what's going on. It's really helpful in New York, because it's like, you know, we're not talking. If I know my neighbors in my building, but I don't know the people in the next building or over a block over or whatever. So you get to go in there and you get to get the neighborhood talk, which is very helpful about what's going on. I think around December, I was looking at it, and there was one of the buildings, like a few streets over, they had a picture of a guy that was coming into the building and stealing packages, and they called the cops, and so that kind of information is good when you're in a community, urban style community, where you're not meeting everybody. Right. So Nextdoor is good. Nextdoor, I just mentioned because that's like one of the apps that is growing outside of, you know, the bigger ones.
And Nextdoor it's a social app, but it's social for you. You're right where you are local.
Right. Your community, your neighbors. Yeah, your neighbors.
Mm-hmm. Very hyper local. I have the Nextdoor app. I was like, okay, they talk a lot about a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I was like,
if you're looking in a local SEO, local business, like you want to sell in your area, or you can start groups on Nextdoor where you're the business owner and you start this group or this page, and then you know, of course, you have to go into the app and talk to people and communicate and see what they're asking about. Maybe you're a good fit and you say, hey, I'm over here, I do XYZ, come over here and maybe I can help you, that kind of thing. So Nextdoor is like a local, like if you're interested in local communities and local, you know, what's going on in the area.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got all. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. That's interesting. So Reddit, I just wanted to kind of know. So Reddit is the same as any other platform. You just need to find out if you got people over there that are interested.
Yeah, it's I have the app. I don't go in a lot. I just, you know, occasionally go in. Like I said, if there's some fun stuff in there. There's some horrible stuff, but that's everywhere. Just cut that out. Just, you know.
Right. Okay. I'll finish my question.
Right. So that's Reddit. Reddit is, you know, adding their little TikTok style stuff. All right. The next one, which we rarely talk about, is LinkedIn, because they don't do anything. or what they do is like, who cares? But okay, LinkedIn is introducing Microsoft powered native video meetings because you know Microsoft owns them. So they're having they are rolling out a native video meetings tool that will allow users to make video calls without needing to download a third-party video app. So again, if you're hanging out on LinkedIn and that's your place, and you know, so remember, it's all business mind and everything, and you know, you want to start a meeting with your team, your group, your business, your whatever, it's there. So it's part of the messaging section, so you can schedule free video calls with other users on the network inside of the app, and you can find it under create video meeting option within your LinkedIn chat window. Now there's a, you know, I did have, go ahead.
Is this FaceTime for LinkedIn? I mean, like within their little, you know.
Yeah, I had the little screen. I wanted to show the screen.
What it's equivalent to, like FaceTime.
Yeah, let me see if I can bring the screen up, and I have to describe it for Clubhouse.
Messenger within, you know, within LinkedIn. This LinkedIn messaging.
Yeah, because LinkedIn has a messaging chat section that when I'm on the desktop, it pops up. When you're on the app, it's within the app. So I had the screenshot. Let me bring it up. I didn't have it. Sorry, I didn't have it queued up.
It's okay.
So let me really. So, but you know, LinkedIn is like, okay, if you're on LinkedIn, it's like, all right, you're using LinkedIn.
So if there's somebody that you want to connect with, you can have a group meeting. It's just like doing it on Messenger or anywhere else you want to do group video chat.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Okay.
It is.
Bring. Oops, I'm out of my tab. So
many tabs. That's interesting too, but
many tabs.
Dr. Tachi does.
Let me see.
Don't you do live video over there, Dr. Tachi?
There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Live video on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, I do.
Yeah, well, the rest of us don't have that luxury, I guess, because anyway.
Well, don't be so
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. They've had this live streaming tool for how long, and they still haven't rolled it out to everybody. I'm like, what's going on? You got to apply like 20 times and they decide whether you get it or not. Like, come on, LinkedIn. All right, here's the screenshot. You can see this is.
Oh, TJ, hold on a second. Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Well, just to add to that, it shows you how, one of two things. Either they're not really serious about their live video strategy or their video strategy at all, or they really don't know what they're doing. And I suspect it's a little bit of both. Microsoft, again, owns LinkedIn. They are not the bastions of technology when it comes to video, etc. And what they thought is something that was an important part of their strategy. They jumped on because everybody else was doing it. But you never really gave a platform for what people should really do with it. Every other place has some sort of guideline for how to be effective with making videos on it. They haven't done that. They just said, well, here's another tool. Like, here's an Apple lollipop. Per se. So I don't know what they expected. And to be honest, I don't know how long that's actually going to be a part of their arsenal because they have not developed it to this point.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so on the screen, so Clubhouse, I'm going to explain it. So they're in the messaging part of LinkedIn in the app. And so this is a conversation with someone, and then you can see the text. There's the text messaging going back and forth, and then the person says, do you want to have a video chat? And there's an option that says create video meeting, and it says send instant meeting link, schedule meeting for later. So it's like you can do an instant meeting right there, or you could schedule it for later, and it would send the person a notification. So, and then the other part of the visual that we're seeing is the not Facebook, FaceTime like view where there's a big screen and a little small square at the top right. So that's your LinkedIn messaging, and so they're saying there'll be an integrated. I tapped my thing. Sorry, I tapped my iPad and. When you tap in the wrong spot, it moves. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Okay, so it said, again, I'm tapping iPad get it together, or is it me? I think it's me.
AI, okay.
I think it's me, so I'm tapping the wrong spot. All right, so it has easy access to an integrated calendar with scheduling meetings will automatically send an email with an ICS to the people involved. So it doesn't say what an ICS is. So while you're on the video call, users can also access and use the chat as well as share screen and use virtual background. So there we go with the the background of the mountains.
Okay, so you know what this is? Because on iOS 15 that is coming out this fall, you can do that with your FaceTime video, and you can bring in other people as well that do not have iOS.
Okay. Yeah.
So
so they're doing it within the different platforms.
Right. So you don't have to have iOS in order to do the FaceTime call with somebody. And then it gives you the option of scheduling that call.
Right.
So, okay. So LinkedIn is doing that thing too. Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, if LinkedIn is your jam, there you have it.
All right. Open the jar first.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to YouTube. YouTube will start showing video chapters in search results. Now, I need to explain this because this is a good thing. So when you know that YouTube is part of Google, and when you search on Google for a topic, a search term, a keyword, you get results to pop up. But in the last year, I'm not certain how long, but it's been for a while that you get YouTube results in the Google research because Google owns YouTube. But now they've gone a step further from just you seeing the video, because Google has worked on the semantic search, and that means that it's user specific. Like you're asking a question, and knows if you're asking a question versus you want general information. And we talked about that on one of the BizChicks shows. But when you put in information, Google has their search engine knows that you're asking for a question. So if a video on YouTube has optimized their video with chapters, and chapters is timestamps, when there's a search in Google, it will go right to that part in the video, so you no longer have to watch the entire video. Say the video is like an hour, but you only want to watch it for I got a question about XYZ. Well, when you put it in Google, it will go straight to the section in the video because of timestamps that will go right to that section, and you don't watch the whole video, just watch a piece of it.
That's good.
What this is. Yeah, so this is what the video chapters are.
So it will scrub for me to the section I want to know about.
Yes, it will go right to it. You don't have to do anything. YouTube is set it up where it will go straight to that section in a video. And this is because the people that upload their videos are putting timestamps, which is great when you're on YouTube. Because like I said, they get you with the thumbnail and they get you with the title. And then you go, well, okay, this is me. I don't want to see your intro. I don't want to see you, hey, da-da-da. And this is especially with a live stream on YouTube. They're like, hey, so-and-so, hey. I'm like, I don't want that. I came specifically for some information. So when they put the timestamps in, it has the time where that section starts, and then they put a description. So YouTube picks all that, Google picks all that up and brings it to the SERPs, the search engine results page. And you click on it, and it goes right into what you want to see or what you have a question about. So that's what this video chapters is about.
Okay.
So that seems like that should be best practice when you're doing a YouTube. Yes. Is to put the timestamps in with your description.
It's the first thing I look for now.
So when we go back and edit this, we can talk about Tesla robot. talk, and we put in there the timestamp. Then we put in this week in social media. We can put a timestamp, so if somebody wants to just get to their
right, yes, and this is one thing that you, as the YouTube creator or the channel owner, you want to do this, because this is starting to be best practices on YouTube. I'm seeing it a lot, and I'm like, thank God, because I click and I go to what I want to see. Maybe I want to go back and watch the whole video later. But right now, I'm interested because you hooked me in with the thumbnail and the title of the video, so I want to get to the meat of the meal. I don't want the waiter saying, well, what do you want? No, I want to go right to it. So this new tool is a chapter view right from the search result page. So it breaks longer videos into separate chapters so that viewers can quickly find specific information, but they were only visible when you click through. So you had to scrub through, like Terminator said, you had to scrub through yourself. You don't have to do that now. So the chapters show up in the results if you set your video up right when you upload it on your channel with the timestamps. Okay. And then when you put it, and then this is another thing, if you put the video on your website, you've got that extra SEO. Because you're going to get it from YouTube, and you're going to get it from your website, and you get it from the search results page, which is why everybody's excited about this.
Okay.
So personally, I love a video that has the timestamps, because it's like titles of it's like the table of contents for a book.
So then, when you pull up the description, the timestamps are in there. Where do you see?
Yeah, when you click the description, it's right there. You just
and so so what we're saying is you got to do one extra step now, or you got to be more diligent in the creation of your YouTube, because it's going to help people get to where they want to be, and instead of that long run-on program. And you
oh my gosh, I would love.
No. There's tools. I think there's tools that can help you with that. It doesn't have to be extra work. Like TubeBuddy, is it vidIQ? There's a couple of them. I think that's a part of their tool set. Like it will help you do that. And then you just upload and everything goes at once. So you don't have to, I got to do this and I got to do that. If you use one of these tools, it will help you do it automatically. And some of the YouTube tools will do it automatically. Like if you have a certain piece of information that goes in the description, like links to your Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you put that in the YouTube tool. So that's why these YouTube tools like TubeBuddy are so helpful, because it takes the work out of it. You just upload and everything goes with it to your channel.
If you use the tools.
Yes. Okay. Or you could do it manually, but like I think Tony's about to say, that's a lot of work, right? Yeah. But if you use the tool, then that will go in for you. Some of it's automatic and some of it's easier to use than you just doing it yourself. So it depends on the amount of work goes into it. But I know because I use YouTube a lot, when I see those timestamps, I get happy. I'm like, yes, because I don't have to scrub myself. So and then it helps people stay on your channel, because they may go back to another time, and the timestamps are listed in the descriptions. You can click, they're clickable. You just click on them and it jumps in the video.
Okay.
So make it easy. So what we're saying is making it easy for people to find your content.
Yes.
And stick with you.
And especially if you're doing like a frequently asked questions or how do I whatever, you know what people are going to ask. Put it right in the description with the timestamp. It's going to pick up from YouTube and pick up from the Google search page. So
nice.
I want to do that. All right. So a lot of people are happy about that with YouTube.
Yes.
All right. Twitter. Let's move on to Twitter. Twitter has paused their verification system again. And if you're looking to get a blue check on Twitter, not happening. So they paused it in May. I know they put a hold on it because of you know who, and they relaunched it, and now they had a whole big backlog of applications, people wanting that blue check on Twitter. So now they said, hey, we paused it because we had they verified a small number of fake accounts by mistake.
Ooh.
Which is why they had to pause it. So they're still figuring out their verification blue check
process. Oh wow.
Yeah. All right, so Twitter also testing letting users report tweets containing misinformation. Now, this one was a big topic this week. So it lets you directly report a misleading tweet to Twitter. And what it is that it's an option. When you hit report, you want to report a tweet, it's one of the options. It's called it's misleading. That's what it says. And see, right. They want to, and then they ask you, is it misleading because of politics, health, or something else? Because there's a big thing, with false information, false news, politics. There's a lot of false information about what's going on with COVID and the vaccine. So they put this in as a reporting tool for people to report. But I know a lot of people on Twitter were upset because it also lets people who are, may not like your tweet or may not like your fandom. Like if you're a part of this fan or that fan, they go, well, I don't like you. I'm going to report this as misleading. So that's why a lot of people on Twitter, right. So there's that, it's that double-edged sword. It's like, it's supposed to be for good, but now, there are players that will use it to say, well, I don't like you or your business or what you said. So now I can use the misleading.
Exactly. It's like swatting somebody.
Because it says politics, health, something else. So all this, what is the something else? Twitter, it could be anything.
It's a matter of opinion.
Right. It's a matter of opinion. Exactly. So that's why a lot of people are like, we don't like this.
Yeah, because if we differ in opinion, who's to determine? Now we got to go before the judge to determine.
Right. Because I see the use for politics. I see the use for health information. But there's something else. And then here's the deal. Twitter says, although we may not take action on this report or respond to you directly, we will use this report to develop new ways to reduce misleading information. This could include limiting its visibility, providing additional context, and creating new policy. Thank you for helping us to make Twitter better for everyone. Yeah, thanks, Twitter. Wow. So what they're saying is if a tweet is flagged as misleading, they will review the report using a combination of human content moderators and AI. That's what they're saying. So, but I know a lot of Twitter users are upset about it because you could use this to, report something you don't like because, well, I don't like it. It's misleading.
Exactly.
But to who? If it's not politics or health, just do your thing and just scroll on by if you don't like it.
Right.
So that's that was a little controversy this week. One more thing for Twitter. Twitter's testing new topic tags in Twitter Spaces to improve discoverability, so people will see your space and join it.
So did we not have topic tags before?
No, you didn't have topic tags. It's not the title. When you go into Twitter Spaces, you can put the title, and now they've added an option where you put tags like this is about small business, this is about tech, this is about digital marketing, this is about health, this is about COVID, this is about they'll think tags, hashtags.
Yes,
so you can put those in when you create the space now.
Okay.
So you can add up the 3 topics related to discussion, which will then highlight that space to users interested in those subjects. Because now in Twitter, I've seen a section where you can tap on topics that you're interested in addition to following, your interests. They have a topic section now. So they're going to use that and probably go, oh, you're interested in small business owners or entrepreneurship or health or whatever. Here's a space talking because you tagged it, that space. So that's a way they're trying to get people to discoverability. What do you think of that?
Well, I think having the ability to tag it's because that's standard procedure pretty much across everything on your website, on social media, on different things, so that people can find whatever the thing is. So it's a good thing for that.
Right. See, Twitter didn't have this before. They were just like, Twitter was just like, we're here. It's chronological feed. If you want to find something, you search. And like you said, now Twitter's joined everybody else with tags and categories, which makes sense because it makes it easier to find what you want because it will come to you.
And that's what YouTube did by allowing you to do the timestamp, because timestamp description, and it searches, you go get it. It takes you directly to a content. If I'm searching for business tools, I can search in Twitter now under business, and I can go to the spaces that are business related.
And the spaces will pop up automatically now. They haven't put they said they took out the fleet section, and they were going to put a spaces section. It's not there yet, but I've noticed when I've gone in, if somebody I'm following is doing a space, it was automatically at the top. So they haven't put that section in yet, which I hope they, what are they waiting on? So, because now it's kind of hard to find a space unless you're searching for it, or, you put this category in, the person that's starting the space puts the category in, and you follow that category or topic, and then that you meet, it finds you, and you go, hey, somebody I don't know is doing a space about this topic that I'm following, that I'm interested in. So that's how the discoverability comes out of it. So Twitter was behind, so they played catch up all this year. So good. All right, so Snapchat has launched Snapchat Trends to highlight key topics of discussion in the app. So this Snapchat Trends, think Google Trends for Gen Z. That's what it is, and it's on the desktop, so you can go to is it Snapchat Trends? And I wanted to bring that up, and I didn't have my stuff queued up. Hold on.
So this is like Trends. This is like what people are talking about.
Yes.
On Snapchat. So a trend is, the thing that's being, like the trending movies on Netflix. And
I had the website for you guys. Let me bring it up. There it is. Okay. All right. So I've got dark mode on, so everything's dark. Let me see if I can move it. So it's trends.snapchat.com. And I had my other, yes. All right. Let me bring it up because I want it to be in white. It's readable. All right. Snapchat Trends. Let me bring it up in screen share. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Can we see that? Snapchat Trends?
Not yet.
No?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I see it at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Oh, I had to add.
Yeah.
Oh, why is it coming up like that?
Well, let's do this. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Snapchat Trends. So it's trends.snapchat.com. And let me switch to the tab so I can scroll. Thank you very much. So it says discover and explore trends so you can find what topics perform well on Snapchat, better engage with your audience. So you see there's a search section, and then you can search by United States, Australia, Canada, UK. So go ahead.
So you do this on desktop and
now I didn't check it in Snapchat.
Oh,
I think this is a desktop only tool. I'll check it in a minute. But this will show you top trends for last week, topics that have been trending on Snapchat in the past week. So you can see number 1, it says new movie releases. Number 2, Friday the 13th. Number 3, how do you say her name? Sweetie? I don't know what that rapper girl. I don't know how to say her name. Sweetie Meal. She had a McDonald's Happy Meal. What is it?
So
how you say? Saweetie?
It's supposed to be Sweetie, but Saweetie.
Saweetie. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I heard Sweetie, but I'm like, it looks like Saweetie. But she's the one of the Gen Z rapper.
It's supposed to be it's supposed to be Sweetie, but it's just like the rapper Fabulous. That's not how you spell Fabulous.
Right, that's not. Yeah, but when I see her name, I was like, I don't know how to pronounce that girl's name. I want to say Saweetie, but it's Sweetie. But she's trending at number 3. Number 4, Afghanistan. Number 5, Left Hand Day. It goes up to number 9. So if I'm interested in, okay, what's the trend? Let's click on this Sweetie, whatever her name is, with the McDonald's meal. So you can see it shows just like Google Trends. If you use Google Trends, it looks the same. It shows a timeline graph of the level of interest. So they really didn't start talking about her. This is 8-1 to 8-7. Then it shows the Snapchats, the snaps that Gen Z has put on Snapchat, and you can go through and see the snaps. I think you can play them. Let me see. Yeah. I don't know if the sound is going to come up, guys.
You know why we're here?
All right. Okay, that's annoying. All right, that's annoying.
She said
so she went to McDonald's in a car and got the meal and then made a little. So you can go through and you see each snap. Well, I don't think you see all of them. Maybe the top ones. It says trends are, and remember, trends are based on captions on public and shared stories. So it has to be a public story, not the private, because Snapchat has that private level where groups of Gen Z, they get together and they talk, and these conversations and snaps aren't public. All right, so this is Snapchat trends. So it's trends.snapchat.com. So this is a good tool if you, and here's it has some case studies here at the bottom. International Women's Day, back to school is a big thing. The NFL draft is here. I like this because if you want to get in the mind of Gen Z for the week,
see what they're talking about. Yeah, that's good.
This is what they're talking about. Is right here. So you don't have to use Snapchat to get this information because it's on the desktop.
And that's good too. So that means we should be using the trends on Twitter, the trends on, I don't know if Instagram has trends, but we should be using that to find out what's on all of the social platforms. Does TikTok have what's trending?
Probably. I don't know.
Well, we should go look to find out what's trending and find out what everybody's talking about, especially if we're trying to be relevant.
So the thing about TikTok is like the analytics and stuff that we want. I think that's within the business part of it. Let me see settings and privacy. Business Suite. Yes. So you go to Business Suite Analytics. This is for your account. So I don't know if I can get it for, let's see, Business Creator Hub. And now remember, TikTok is trying to develop their small business section with ads. They have a business manager, which I really haven't dug deep into. I need to start. So I found it. It's called Business Creative Hub. And it's showing me trending business. Get inspired by trending videos from other business accounts. And then trending, engaging, and then community. So they do have a little something like this in TikTok. You have to go to your settings and go to Business Suite and then Business Creative Hub.
Okay.
Oh, there's some good stuff in here. Cool. I really got to dig deep into this business side of TikTok, which I haven't. So it's on my to-do list. All right, so I love this Snapchat trends because again, you get to see and peek into their mind, their conversations, and some people go, "Why? I don't care what Gen Z is saying," and that's good. You don't have to care. I do because I like to know what the trends are with them because those trends become a bigger thing within the older communities, and it's like a wave. It'll wash over to Facebook and Instagram and everywhere like that. So it's a good research tool to keep ahead of, keep track of if that's something that you're interested in. If not, hey, we don't have to do it. All right, so that's Snapchat trends. Let me remove this. All right. There. Okay. So Snapchat trends. What do we think of Snapchat trends? Good tool? Thumbs up?
I think it's a thumbs up. I'm thinking any trend tool is thumbs up. But I think that's a good addition for them.
Yeah, it is. I love that they did that. So and also Pinterest has a Pinterest trend. So it looks like a lot of these apps, platforms are giving you analytics and trends, because you know that's a good way to especially for business accounts, business owners. You need to track all this because you need to know what's working, because you do more of it and you waste your time on stuff that's not working. Then also you get in the head of Gen Z or some of the other generations. So you know, I love data, so that's just me. But you don't have to.
Oh yeah, so no, I said I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
That to be able to keep track of things, because so often the information is arbitrary if you don't have a tool to keep track of it. So very helpful in terms of business as well.
Yeah, and it takes the guesswork out. Like, well, okay, what kind of content should I make, especially this week? Now I want to get some attention. Well, look at what Google Trends, look at Snapchat trends, look at Pinterest trends, and then you can go, hey, something's gonna hit. And it's easier to hit the target if you know these trends and analytics. So yay, Snapchat. Good. All right. So I got a few more. I'm just making sure I hit all of. Yeah, I got Twitter. I got that. All right. Let's go to Facebook.
Shall we buckle up?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so I'll save that one. That's a big topic. All right, so Facebook is rolling out end-to-end encryption on voice and video calls in Messenger. This is something they should have done a while ago, but they're adding it. It's end-to-end encrypted voice and video calls on Messenger and updated controls for disappearing messages. So the features will give users more control over how private they want their calls and chats to be. Now, end-to-end encryption means that you're sending an encrypted chat and the other person you're sending to has the key to unlock. That's what end-to-end encryption means. There's a key that goes along with it to the other person. All right. So just think of that. So there's also they have a timer on the disappearing messages. I haven't looked at that. Disappearing messages within end-to-end encrypted chats. They have a timer that will allow more users more choice when deciding the amount of time they want their messages to stick around on the chat before it disappears. New options of 5 seconds duration to as long as 24 hours. So again, here's this stories, ephemeral content. I'm sending you something. I'm going to let you have it for 5 minutes or a day, depending on how I want to, think Mission Impossible. Anybody remember that show, Mission Impossible? And it just explodes at the end.
The message.
Self-destruct. And so we're doing that online. So why is Facebook doing this? They want to allow more control over who can interact with you, reach your chat list, who goes to your request folder, and who can message you at all. Because there's a lot of trolls happening on Messenger and Instagram. I got something today with Instagram. I was like, who is this trying to send me a message? I just go block and future block. Love it. Get out of here. So let's see. What else is going with this end-to-end encryption? So it's a limited test with adults in certain countries who will have the option to encrypt their DMs for one-on-one conversations. Oh, this is the Instagram part of it. So they're going to test the new security feature on existing chats or on conversations between users who already follow each other. All right. So yeah, so they're offering end-to-end encryption. They should have done that. It's already on WhatsApp. If you're using WhatsApp. So it's to keep personal conversations safe from hackers and criminals. All right. So that's from Facebook. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Is there another? Oh, no, 1, 2. All right, here we go. So Facebook is also testing Reels in news feeds and groups in the US. So you're seeing Reels within the main app. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't see a Reel. I saw a story. When I went on Facebook on my phone, I saw a story. Not at the top, because the stories are at the top, the little squares. It was in the feed. The story was in the feed as I was scrolling through. Let me see if I can get it to do it again. So they're doing Reels the same way in Facebook, the app. And I saw it yesterday. I don't see any today.
They're just mixing us all up. Pretty soon it's not going to be called Facebook and Instagram. It's going to be
you're
all
right. It's going to be
one.
all. I think I said that it was going to be all in one app. And I think somebody was like, "Oh no, they're not ever going to combine Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp." I was like, "Yes, they are." So here we are on the road to that. And I don't see any today. But yeah, I saw it yesterday. It was a story right in. Yep, here it is. I don't know if you can see that. That's a story within me scrolling through. That's somebody's story. Claudio. Yeah, on Facebook. This is Claudio. Claudia. And see, It says Claudia Santiago added to her story. It's the actual story in the feed. It's playing. And then I can reply to her and I will. I did like a thumbs up. And that's within the feed. I didn't go to stories. It's in while I'm just. So you're going to see reels like that within your news feed within the app.
In Facebook.
And go to Facebook, open the app, and you're going to see reels and stories. So I'm seeing stories. I haven't seen any reels. And I saw this yesterday.
So they're blurring the lines between
right.
Instagram
So there's
and
so in the feed, there's posts from my friends and family and posts from pages that I follow, and then a story. And then now I'm expecting to see a reel. So I've been on the lookout for it.
Okay.
So there'll be reels within the news feed. And they're saying in groups. So it says so it's a test right now. So the notification was if Facebook put you in the test, you'll see the clips appear in the news feed and within groups. Now I haven't seen it in groups. So they're doing this experiment is an expansion to they're already doing this in Canada, India, and Mexico. So now they added us.
Okay.
So they're saying in addition to watching reels in the app, you'll be able to record them directly from the Facebook app. So you won't even have to go to Instagram to do a reel. Now remember, if you do it on Instagram, you can back post or cross post it back to Facebook. But now they're saying you'll be able to do it within Facebook itself.
It looks like they're trying to get rid of Instagram. I'm serious because
they're combining the two together because they know people that like Facebook will stay on Facebook. And gradually older generations are going to Instagram because Instagram is like 35, 40, 45 and under. But now I've slowly seen people join Instagram because, you know, if you're on friends on Facebook, it'll tell you your friend is now on Instagram. So now it's starting to creep older, skew older, but Facebook is like, okay, we want that youthful injection. So we're going to meld Facebook and Instagram together. It's common. So what do we say that in groups now? Remember, you're going to see reels and stuff in groups, unless hopefully they will let the group admin turn that off. Because you know, if you own the group, you can pretty much control what's shown and whatever. So I'm hoping that'll be an option. So I don't want to see any reels in any groups. Got quiet on that. All right, one more with Facebook. This is like a PSA. Facebook is continuing their support for Black-owned businesses. They have a new initiative, so they are having a hashtag Buy Black Summit on August 24th. So there is Facebook Elevate. It's their community and learning platform to help entities of color and celebrate Black creators. They're going to have their first ever Buy Black Summit. So it's going to be a free one-day virtual conference, and it's hosted by a stand-up comedian, actress, somebody named Michelle Buteau. I haven't heard of her, but she's hosting. So the discussions will be centered around subjects like learning how to drive sales ahead of the holiday season and how to access capital for your small business. So those topics are important. All right, so they have that going on. So just look for hashtag Buy Black Summit on Facebook if you want more information. Okay, I think that's it. Oh no, I saved the big bomb for last. Because it ties in with Dr. Tachi media section. All right.
Okay.
OnlyFans is banning sexually explicit content beginning October 1st. That means adult content on OnlyFans is no longer allowed. But they will now allow some nudity, but based on their community rules. Now, the thing about OnlyFans is it's like a Patreon for adult content where people can go on and do adult content, set up a membership and get paid. So it really blew up last year during the pandemic because people were out of work. So they need to make money. So people went on OnlyFans. But celebrities started going on OnlyFans and it kind of blew up and got attention. So now OnlyFans' reason for banning this adult content is because they're having trouble with their payment processors. You know, Visa, MasterCard, the people that process the payments. They don't want to be associated with a platform that has adult content because there's some kind of law. Hold on, let me see. I had it up here. Some kind of sex trafficking law. Oh, I was reading about it. Where is it? I want to get that law right. It was some big acronym. Because there's an article on fastcompany.com. I'll put the link in it if anybody reads it. It's really long, and I was looking at it. Oh, here it is. It's a FOSTA SCSTA law. It's a 2018 law aimed at curbing illegal sex trafficking, but also made websites and platforms criminally and civilly liable for unlawful user-generated content. Okay, so it's not just OnlyFans that was subject to this. Sites like Craigslist and Reddit. Remember I said earlier, Reddit was, you know, they're starting to move away from all of that trolling, and they have adult content on it. So they're moving away from that because the payment process is saying, listen, we don't want to be aligned with that because of this law, because we could be liable civilly and criminally, so we don't want any parts of this. So OnlyFans has told all of their creators, listen, October 1st, we are moving to ban all of this explicit content.
It's sort of like money laundering for criminal activity.
That, and also there's the sex trafficking underage. OnlyFans has to regulate that. So, you know, they don't want any part. It's like it's a mire muck. We don't want a part of it. And plus our payment processor is putting pressure on us. And then also these corporations and businesses, they make more, they grow more if it's family friendly content. So that's what they're doing. So OnlyFans has moved to an app called OFTV. And the website, OFTV. So let me bring that up. I wanted to show you.
Is this the clean version?
Yes, it's clean. Yeah. Oh, no. This is clean. No, this is what they're gravitating from adult content, explicit content to this. And I wanted to
they're migrating from
because you know the pressure is on
from porn to family friendly.
Yes, family friendly.
So that's off. Fans.
That's the Snapchat. Here we go. Fans. It's called OF.TV. Can you? Is it up there? I want to make. Oh, it's not there.
You gotta add it.
Yeah, I gotta add it back. Okay, there we go. So this is the desktop version, and it's OF.TV. And you'll see what's there is fitness, sports, wellness, cooking, podcasts, vlogs, blogs, music, advice, comedy, miscellaneous, and then they have a trending section. So on the trending, you can see people, women that are doing exercise. There's comedy on here, TikTok talk shows, cooking. People, here's someone doing like role playing, fashion, is a chess, dress up. So different people. So this is what they're gravitating towards. And on the app, it's the same thing. It's the same kind of content. So they have the OFTV app, and then it's also Android, iOS, Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV, and Samsung Smart TV. So this is where they are pivoting from okay, we made our bones. We got famous off adult content, allowing people to come on and make their content and build their membership, like a not safe for work Patreon kind of deal. People were making money this past year or so, and now OnlyFans says no. Y'all gotta go. October 1st, we're moving to this is where we're going. Family friendly, safe content to where people are teaching and showing people how to do
stuff. Are they shutting down, literally shutting down fans, OnlyFans?
Well, no. They're not shutting it down. They're saying that they're not going to allow sexually explicit content. Now, they do have a part where they're saying they're letting some nudity go by, but they're not saying, you know, where the threshold is. But the threshold is anything that's like one of the porn sites or whatever. They're not doing that anymore. They're not doing that anymore. They're not allowing it because, remember, OnlyFans has a section where people have memberships, and that payment processing part has to be processed by the payment processors, which are saying we don't want none of this because you guys do not safe. Well, not safe. I'll see sexually explicit content is what they're saying. So they're saying the payment processors. Also, this has gotten everybody, all the OnlyFans people are upset, rightly so, because now they will not be able to make as much money as they were making before because they have to do this kind of content if they want to, I guess, keep their membership or whatever. So it's kind of like a shaky, like the OnlyFans people that are doing the content, the adult content, they're not sure what's going on. And they'll have to stop, or will they get banned or thrown off? They don't know, but their income is about to drop.
Dr. Tachi?
Go ahead.
May I chime in?
Yeah.
So this is tantamount to, because I was reading about this morning, actually found out about the app, and then found out about the fact that, and they got a round of funding too. For this, and they're looking at their pockets, they're looking at the bottom line, and the thing is, OnlyFans has been lauded in the past by sex workers because it provided a safe place for them. And then, you know, when they couldn't go out and do what they did during the pandemic, this provided another source of income. But I have to say that source of income is not promised you. And they were talking to one sex worker who was like, you know, this is how I made a lot of my money. And you notice that they're not pushing a lot of us that were doing that type of content as much as the other types of creators. Well, that's where the money is. You go where your advertisers are. And it's the same thing. You know how I complain, or not complain, but talk about how YouTubers, how they'll complain about, they're demonetized, and I'm not saying don't complain, but it's not your platform. So the creators deem what they want. The creators of the platform, or the people who created the platform, deem what they want. And it's the same thing with you. So if you can't pivot, maybe you need to see what the hell else you can do besides turn virtual tricks. So I'm just saying.
Dr. Tachi is right.
Your damn virtual sexual eggs in one basket, and now you're mad that they're taking the money away. That's what happens in every industry. You're not special.
She's absolutely, you're absolutely 1,000% correct.
Exactly, because you know the next thing you know they're gonna have bots doing it. So don't worry about it.
This is the deal. This is how I see it. Okay, I'm not against you being on OnlyFans. You've been making big money for 18, 20 months. You should have had a plan to where you knew this gravy train was gonna stop, because like Dr. Tachi said, YouTube went through this with the monetization and the this and that because YouTube is getting pressure from advertisers who want they don't want Disney stuff, but they don't want that explicit stuff that you're doing. So YouTube's like, listen, who pays the bills? The advertisers. So we're gonna go with that. Now you can still make content, you just can't do this, that, and that. Now here's the deal with this OnlyFans. You've been doing it for 18, 20 months. You should have had a plan to where you could offload these people from OnlyFans, because that wasn't going to last. That boat wasn't going to, that love boat wasn't going to sail forever. Offload them onto your own website with your own payment, your own membership, your own payment. All of that is available. You could have done that. Or there's websites that let you do it, let you do that kind of content, and you could set up membership on that website. Well, no, you got used to the easy OnlyFans part of it, and now they pulled the rug out from you, and they can do that because it's their platform. Because listen, they're getting pressure. They're getting pressure. So I don't blame OnlyFans. I'm like, listen, you got in this day and age, when you get that momentum going and you got a membership where you making thousands, tens of thousands a month, you better offload that into your own platform to where you control it.
Oh,
that's how I see it.
They're not doing their own business. Okay.
It's easy to do. It's not like it's difficult. You can do it
anyway. Oh, I'm not gonna say what.
But it takes work. Here we go again. You got used to the easy flow of OnlyFans. Oh, it was nothing to do. Just push a button, record, and the money just bling bling bling. But now, what are you gonna do? Because OnlyFans says October 1st, you can't do that anymore.
And they're giving you opportunity to move your stuff.
They're giving you a whole October 1st. You got a whole lot of time to set up your own thing and say, hey,
what's going to take so long, but okay.
Hey, OnlyFans is doing this, but the party's over here. And tell your people, go over there.
Seen people shut things down overnight without even telling you the lights are going off.
Yes, remember what happened with Blab?
I didn't want to say that.
But see, this is the thing. Those of us that are in the space, not the sex work space, but the digital space.
Thank you.
You understand that these platforms will shut down and not even say thank you.
Yes.
We know that you have to prepare to pivot, and you can't cry about it because the time you've used crying, you could have used that time to find someplace else and something else to do. What you're doing now is trying to hold a whole hunger strike outside of Netflix because they didn't give you something that they don't have to give you anyway. You're just very lucky that there's a platform that allowed those types of shenanigans and debauchery to happen. And when I say that, I'm not just, if that's what you want to do you, boo-boo. That has nothing to do with me. But you can't be mad when now they decide they're going to pivot and that's all the hell you know how to do. That's your fault. That is your fault. You know what you need to do? All you know how to do is pole dance. You better study harder so you can join Cirque du Soleil.
Well, look,
something else to do with your talent.
Exactly.
18 months, you should have learned some new tricks.
And see, listen, I mean, this is not, this information is not behind a locked wall. There are platforms besides YouTube where you could set up a YouTube-like structure on your website. There are platforms. One of them is V Loud. I forgot what it is. It looks just like YouTube. You make your own channels, your own video, and it's you put it on your website. It's really easy to use.
But Terry, you know good and damn well these people don't have an email list.
I know.
They can stifle people up. So that's the thing. And see, had they taken LaShonda's class on email lists down in the audience, they would be like, well, no problem. I'll just send out a MailChimp for where they can find me next, or whatever.
Exactly. And see, it's still time to do it. If you heard about it this week, there's time right now to do it. If you're on OnlyFans and you want to move your people off, okay, stop, Siri. So you can do it right now. So you're going, instead of panicking and getting mad and angry,
I won't do it.
And getting angry and we're gonna boycott and OnlyFans, you guys are wrong. You're gonna be like Tumblr, because Tumblr went through this. Tumblr was valued in like something billions of dollars. Verizon bought them, and then they say, hey, wait a minute, all of this, not this sexually explicit, this adult content gotta go off of Tumblr. Now Tumblr's worth like $3 million or something, and they're trying to sell it. But that's what it is. It's like, okay, you built up your following. Move them along. They like your content. Move them along. Move them to something that you own, and it's not hard.
Follow you.
Okay.
Yes, they will. They've been paying for 18 months, 20 months. You think they're gonna stop because you moved off of Only? They're not there because you're on OnlyFans. They're there for your content. So move them somewhere else. Take your wagon train. Take your wagon train and set up camp over there on something that you own, and it's not difficult. But see, it's go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But the thing is, you brought up a very salient point. They are there because of your goods. It doesn't have a damn thing to do with OnlyFans.
Not a
They're
thing.
there because you. Why do you think, and I'm not trying to be crass or whatever here, but why do you think when people go to these peep shows and stuff and they're like, it's delicious here today? Because they know that delicious is going to provide what they want every single time. They're looking for delicious. So they have something that the rest of us don't have. Other people can provide in a lot of cases some of the things we do, because there's a lot of replication in general. But when it comes to that industry, the sex industry, people like what they like. And if delicious is not there today, they're not staying. I'll be back tomorrow night.
Right.
Well, I got news for delicious. Somebody needs delicious, and you need to get on it.
Listen, they've done the hard work. They built the community. They did the hard work. They, like Dr. Taji said, she's absolutely right. They got people that show up for one person. They're showing up for you. So you got the community. Move them off of OnlyFans. It's not the end of the world. Move them to some and do your research and say, hey, what's the video platforms where I upload my own videos onto my website? Boom, VLoud, or I think it's VLoud. But and you pay the fee, and then you're in business on your website on a hosting platform that allows your content. Just make sure that you get the web hosting that allows that. It's not hard, but they won't do their work because they're lazy. They're lazy. They're letting OnlyFans do all the work. That's why OnlyFans became this big thing, because it let them do. OnlyFans say, hey, sign up. You put your content up. We take care of the rest. So I'm saying they're lazy. Move it somewhere else. You'll make even more money, because guess what? You don't have to. OnlyFans won't take their cut. There's nobody to take a cut but web hosting.
Something here.
Go ahead.
Miss Delicious is now a married woman. Didn't she marry one of the Central Park 5?
Really?
Her name is Delicious?
Delicious.
There's a porn star named Delicious.
Yeah, she came from the Flavor Flav reality show. And then she
her? Oh my God!
She married the Latinx one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but
wow.
Okay, sorry, Delicious. Whatever. Delicioso, then. Whatever.
I think Tati was just throwing out Delicious. We talking about Delicious.
Yeah, we understood, because we wasn't, it wasn't actually her, but we understand.
We just want to clarify, we were not pointing out that particular person.
Right, we're not talking about that particular person, but listen, this is business structure here. I always like to point out business structure, where whether it's adult content or you're a funeral business, or you're this or you're that, it's all business structure. It doesn't matter what the dressing is, it's still a business structure. You created a business, people on OnlyFans, especially the successful ones that are making tens of thousands. There's people making millions off of that. So you can't do the research and take a couple of dollars and easily transfer them to a platform that you can set up. And if you don't know how to do it, guess what? There's thousands of people that know how to set up a website, build a platform, build your own video platform, put your little Patreon, and it doesn't have to be Patreon. I'm just using that as your payment processor. It's all there out in the world. If you don't know how to put it together yourself, you hire somebody to do it. You're making money. You got the money.
Okay. So much for. I'm
done. I was gonna say, one of the problems is, like Tachi said, is people have become, I'm printing y'all. People have become so dependent on these major networks. They didn't grow a list, so they can't move this following. And the other side to that, even though they were on these major platforms, they didn't even bother by securing their names, any kind of domain names. In fact, many have made side millions off of them, because there's one guy, but for most of the IG models, they didn't get their own .coms, and so there's people searching for them. Drives a lot of traffic to websites that he sells some of everything, because every time one of them would become popular or famous, he would get their domain. So, you know, you're talking about them moving to pay some of the other payment, you know, independent. Going independent. They can't go independent because they never bothered to, you know, secure the ownership off this platform.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree, but I'm like, I in this day and age, we cannot feign ignorance. They still, what I'm saying is they got time today, because everybody knows about the OnlyFans thing. It's been online all the last couple of days. So you as the creator, listen, get on there right now. Listen, you heard about what's going on with OnlyFans, right? Well, the party ain't stopping. I got the domain. I got the this. It doesn't have to be exactly the name. Be creative. So I go to whatever dot. We're over there. Put your payment stuff in, and the party keeps rolling. They got time. It doesn't even take a day to get all this stuff set up. If you get the knowledge yourself.
I remember being on one day and I said, what was the one Monday conversation? And the question was, what are we doing? Something. I said, I'm becoming Yolanda. and Terry said, did you get that domain? I was like, I'll be right back.
Yeah. I bought domains today for $2.98. I'm always buying domains. And guess what? When they expire in a year or two, if I haven't done anything and I'm like creatively, I don't see this rolling, I'll let that $2. It was $2. But you're right. You have to be actively thinking about this, or they don't have to have the knowledge, but pay somebody that knows it. Listen, I want to get my people off of OnlyFans. How do I do it? You can go to Instagram, Clubhouse, wherever. There are people that will do it for you today, right now, and have you up and rolling in 24 hours or less. That's what I'm saying. The information is there. These people can't sit back and say, well, you know, cry and moan, or I'm going to go to OnlyFans and beat them up. Whatever the thing is they're saying online, they're mad. I'm like, take that anger, channel it into, I got a business thing here. It's a business structure. Let me do it because it's doable, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It's doable. Right now, they didn't say September 1st, they said October. You got plenty of time, OnlyFans creators. Get to it. Either do it yourself or pay somebody. I'm done with you guys, OnlyFans. That's how I see it. I was like, why are you mad? Move your people. OnlyFans doesn't want your the playground. Move it to your own playground that you own.
All right.
What else to say? And that's social media news for this week.
All right, Dr. Tachi, what we got happening in media?
Well, yeah, that was a spirited conversation. I don't know how much time we actually have to talk about this, so I'll quickly go through some things and see what's what. Let's talk a little bit about Chris Cuomo's return to the air. So he returned on Monday from a week-long vacation, and this is the first time that he's talked publicly about the resignation of his brother, who is New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and he said that he urged the governor to step down. He said, quote, "I'm not an advisor." Let me say it the way he did. "I'm not an advisor. I'm a brother. I wasn't in control of anything. I was there to listen and to offer my take. While it wasn't something I ever imagined ever having to do, I urged my brother to resign when the time came." Okay, I'm saying it in the words of how I think he would say it. He also said that he never covered his brother's troubles because obviously there's a conflict of interest there, and there are rules at CNN about that. He said, "My position has never changed. Let anyone about the information I was delivering or not delivering on this program." So CNN previously said that he was walled off from covering the governor because it would be a conflict of interest. But Chris Cuomo had interviewed his brother 6 times at the start of the coronavirus pandemic. So it's like, okay, well, how do you figure? You could interview about that, but not this? Okay. So on Monday night, Chris Cuomo defended those appearances, saying that he always said that they would be short-lived. And they were, because the last one was over a year ago, long before any scandal. And then he said he's no longer going to speak about any of that issue on air.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, those sound But it's all very interesting because, you know, I lived through the, I'm a New Yorker, obviously, so I was little when their father, Mario Cuomo, was the governor. So we know the Cuomo family. Not we know them, but as New Yorkers, New York State, you know the Cuomo family very well because they've been entrenched in New York State politics for quite some time, and now this is the second generation. So it's very interesting, and you know it's interesting to watch because he was Andrew Cuomo was such a force during the pandemic in terms of it, but that doesn't mean that he's not a deplorable person. You know, you could do things right and still be not that great. So, moving on from Chris Cuomo on to Punky Brewster. Well, I always tell people
who?
Punky Brewster.
Really? Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
I don't know if you know, but there was a Punky Brewster sequel that had come up. It was on Peacock, which is one of the properties of NBC Universal, starring the original star Soleil Moon Frye, and it was a half-hour scripted series. Well, that half-hour scripted series is no more because it got canceled after one season. I don't know who's surprised, but anyway. So the Hollywood Reporter says not even Punky Power can save Punky Brewster. They canceled after one season, and it's the first cancellation at Peacock. So you know Peacock is relatively new, but this is the first cancellation at Peacock. So sources say that Soleil Moon Frye and the show's executive producers all wanted to return for additional seasons, but execs at Peacock, including entertainment chair Susan Rovner, they liked the series, but the decision was made not to move forward with the second season. And Lisa Katz is the president of Scripted at NBC Universal Television, and she says this: Punky Brewster was a beloved series that tackled meaningful storylines with so much heart. It was a bright light for so many viewers, and we are forever grateful to Universal Studio crew, the producers, the cast, and crew, and especially to Soleil Moon Frye for reigniting the punky power within everyone. I don't raise your hand if you even really realize this was back on the air. Now I knew they
I didn't know.
I didn't realize it was back on the air.
I did not know.
Me either.
I remember hearing the announcement, but it did not stick in my mind. You know what I mean? It wasn't something I was going to do. So there you go.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think, not that I was even interested or emotionally interested in a Punky Brewster revival anyway, but, you know, there are a lot of, Peacock has done a lot of revival because the Saved by the Bell revival is on Peacock as well. There are a bunch of other things, you know, because Kevin and I are screeners for NBC Universal. So this is why we know and see anything NBC Universal, sci-fi, etc. first, because we get screeners first. But this completely went over my radar. I knew it was happening, did not go over the radar because I had no interest.
Exactly.
Let it be a lesson, all you producers out there. I don't know how interested the public is in reliving shows from the 80s and 90s.
Thank you.
Infamy for a purpose and for a reason. Leave them.
We've moved on, people. We've moved on.
Exactly. We seriously moved on. Absolutely. All right, I wanted to give an announcement for you all. You know, I love to give information about free conferences if I can. So the Adobe Max 2021 conference has opened for registration for free. So anyone can attend. This is the second year in a row. Did it last year, obviously, because of the pandemic. And Adobe is basically deemed to be the largest creativity conference, you know, in the world, I guess. And it's for free. And it's usually, let me tell you the ticketing price. It's usually, the minimum is $12.95 per person. Not $12.95, $1,295. So it's about $1,300 per person. And it's usually a closed door event at a single location. Now, anybody that has a device can attend the several days long Adobe Max conference, and you can discover the latest technologies and trends in the creative world. So it's going to be October 26th through the 28th. And it's now open and free for all. Go to max.adobe.com. Again, max.adobe.com. C-O-M, and you can register for free. There are going to be over 400 sessions, keynotes, max sneak labs, and workshops from all sorts of creative experts in the field and celebrity speakers. So I suggest you run, don't walk, and sign up for it now. Again, max.adobe.com. Now, talking about iRobot, right? So why not bring in a little bit of Will Smith? Will Smith has Westworld Studios, he and his wife, and they have inked a first look deal with Nat Geo, National Geographic Channel. So it's a relationship with National Geographic with a 5-year first look deal for unscripted content. So this is coming ahead of a new venture that he has with an adventure series called Welcome to Earth for Disney Plus, and that's slated to premiere on the platform on Disney Plus later this year. This deal is also including the development of all unscripted projects in the areas of adventure, exploration, travel, and science for all of National Geographic's television platforms and Nat Geo-produced Disney Plus originals. So this was made just on Wednesday, this announcement, during National Geographic's virtual TCA summer session. So listen to what they have to say. Having spent the past 2 years working with Will and the team at Westworld Studios on Welcome to Earth, we are thrilled to be expanding our relationship with them and entering a long-term partnership to produce blockbuster nonfiction content. I think that's awesome. I love to see more, you know, I love science fiction, I love science, but I like to, more than that, I want us, people of color especially, to be more recognizable in the space. So hopefully a lot of this comes through Westbrook and Will Smith. Congrats. Good for you, Will Smith. All right. Who likes country music? Flash your mics or raise your hand or say yes if you like country music.
It just depends on who it is.
I'm not the hugest fan, but there are some great songs. I will say that. You know, especially Black people. Well, if you live in areas like Nashville, et cetera, or you live in Texas, you get really exposed to it. But for a lot of us, we only know 2 country music stars, Darius Rucker and Charlie Pride. So Charlie Pride. I'm really gravitating toward it. However, this may be of interest to those of you who are country music fans. The Academy of Country Music Awards are going to stream on Amazon Prime Video for their award shows. They've got an exclusive deal now. So Amazon Prime is continuing their expansion into live programming. They've taken exclusive. I'm sorry. There was a gnat. All right. So they've taken the exclusive rights to NFL's Thursday Night Football in a digital deal. And they made a deal for the 57th Academy of Country Music Awards. Academy of Country Music Award. So it's going to happen in 2022, produced by Dick Clark Productions. And this marks the first time that a major award show is going to be live streamed exclusively on a streaming video on demand platform. So if you didn't know, they were launched in 1966. So the Academy of Music Country Music Awards has been around for a while, and they exclusively aired on broadcast on ABC, NBC, and most recently on CBS. And they've been on CBS since 1998 through this year. So this is going to be interesting to see what they do with it. I'm kind of over award shows. I think there are too many of them. Award shows are not really made for the public, for us. They're made to congratulate the music industry or whoever, because advertisers will pay for it. But we don't know how much longer that's going to go on if ratings continue to drop the way they drop. But by and large, they're still probably pulling in millions. It's one
I do love the fashion, Shotzi. I do love the fashion, Dr. Tachi.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. Give me the red carpet and then go on about your business. Come out on the red carpet. Show me who you're wearing.
Yeah.
I'm for it. Do the 360 camera. Do your shenanigans and antics, and then go inside the theater. Go inside the Chinese theater and do what you do. I don't need to see the rest of the show. Give me the highlights.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you won't make play with that. You could still get sponsors for the red carpet show because this is what they want to see. They want to see celebrities talking and not making soliloquies or nothing speeches. I shouldn't say that. They deserve it. But they don't want to see these long, drawn-out speeches, these unfunny hosts that always try to be funny. You're not funny, witch. Let's just give the award and sit down. So I think there are way too many award shows. So I'm interested to see what Amazon Prime does differently with this. Moving on, anybody an Anthony Hopkins fan?
Yeah.
To the land. Hello, Clarice. So Anthony Hopkins' new movie is skipping the theaters for a full-length NFT release. Let me explain. Well, Anthony Hopkins is bringing a new thriller to the screens. It's going to be called Zero Contact. And again, it's going to debut exclusively to viewers as a non-fungible token. Remember we were talking about that, NFTs? Now, all of this is part of blockchain. Now, blockchain keeps the track of who owns what, right? So, in terms of cryptocurrency, but these are all forms of blockchain. And so, unlike when you have a dollar, if you have a Bitcoin, it's in a ledger somewhere that you're the one that owns this, right? So with an NFT, they only release a certain amount. Each one of them is numbered, and there's a ledger with a record of you are the one that is the owner of this. If it's 1 through 60, you own number 26. So you can have copies of this, but it won't be an NFT. There'll be no record of it. Therefore, it is not valued in the same way as an NFT, if that makes any sense. So I'm not an NFT expert, but I understand a little bit of it. So I tried to relate that. So instead of a premiere in a theater, the film is going to be released on Webway. It's VULE, and it's the first direct-to-consumer viewing and distribution platform for full-length NFT movies. And it will also be the world's first NFT feature film. So on the platform, you're going to be able to watch, collect, or sell, or even trade various NFT movies, including this latest film from Anthony Hopkins. And interestingly, that's not the only thing that's unique about Zero Contact. Also, the film was produced entirely virtually in 17 different countries during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, that's remarkable. That's remarkable.
Yeah, it is remarkable. So I'm looking forward to see what happens in the NFT space when it comes to film, because NFTs have been huge when it comes to art, right? And film is art, but when it comes to visual art, it's been huge in that way. So now there's an opportunity for and music as well. So now's an opportunity for filmmakers to do that. And I sit here talking, and I'm like, let me get on the board. I'm an artist, a visual artist, and a filmmaker. If I don't make an NFT, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'll be back with my progress from that.
Okay.
I just have a couple of other things, and then we will skedaddle. Amazon and Sony have reached a deal for Hotel Transylvania 4 to skip theaters and to debut on Prime Video. It's a $100 million deal. So far, this Hotel Transylvania franchise has grossed $1.3 billion in theaters globally. So it's going to go straight to Amazon Prime, according to Variety. The latest in the series was Transformania, and it's going to be directed by Derek Dryman and Jennifer Kluska. The film is going to star Andy Samberg, Selena Gomez, Catherine Hahn, Jim Gaffigan, Steve Buscemi, Molly Shannon, Dave Spade, and Keegan-Michael Key, all comedy heavyweights. And Amos Vernon and Nunzio Randazzo wrote the script. So this is going to be interesting. Streaming is not going anywhere. Streaming is not going anywhere. And I I know and predict that we're going to see more films that go direct to streaming, regardless of what AMC and Cinemark and also the other one I can't remember right now have to say about it. So
yeah, they can't stop that train. Yeah, that train is rolling.
Has gone. That train left platform number 5 2 years ago. If you didn't get on it, too bad. The Tyler Perry Show is set at BET, beginning with the Sisters after show special. I'm so sorry. That show. Tyler, what do you know about being a millennial / Gen Z woman? You don't. Anyway. So the Tyler Perry Show is going to debut. It actually debuted 2 days ago on BET. And so far, and I don't know how, but it is compelling, I guess. Tyler Perry's Sisters is currently the #1 cable series for Black viewers ages 18 to 49. So, yeah, so this is going to be interesting. And it's basically like a talk show. So they're going to be and I think they're going to be doing this with different shows, maybe different properties of his shows. So it's going to be the Tyler Perry Show. This is the Sisters After Show edition. So I'm guessing they'll do it with other shows in his world, the Tyler Perry cinematic universe. So the After Show, Perry's going to talk with the cast, including the entire cast, and says no topics will be off limits, from spicy mid-season finale to how each sister was cast with never before seen footage, behind the scenes moments, and even addressing viral social media moments from the show. Now, this is interesting because I think that Tyler Perry may have found his wheelhouse here. I see him as a very good talk show host. He could definitely do that, and that may be his wheelhouse. I'm not saying he cannot write it all, but the problem is he tries to write everything, and he cannot write everything. So hold on to this, Tyler, because I think this may be your wheelhouse. I'm not saying let go of other things, but I am saying put time into something like this because that could work. Last story, and I'll turn it over to you. This is media / kind of tech, kind of social media. I don't think you talked about this, Terry, but TJ, Pinterest is now letting BIPOC users search for content by their hair pattern. So on Wednesday, they announced a new tool that allows users to filter through hair-related search results to find content that's most relevant to them. So it's the Black community of Black, Brown, Indigenous, Latinx, and other people of color. First of all, I'm sorry. I was not at the meeting when you all decided to call us BIPOC. I disapprove. Anyway.
Me too. I agree.
What is BIPOC? I'm sorry.
Black, Indigenous people of color.
Okay.
We're lumped into one group. I don't like that.
Lumped. Okay.
I don't know who made that decision, but they did not ask me. I would have voted that.
Millennials.
I don't think they were in there because you know what? When we decided what we wanted to be called, we decided that HBCU campuses. We had long conversations.
Right, but who's on the campus now?
In the 70s. I don't think they would have chosen something generic like this. This is just crazy.
This is Gen Z millennials doing this. This is where it's coming from. I don't choose to use it. And
here lies the problem. You cannot define something when you don't have experience in history doing that. So no, I refuse and I rebuke that.
I don't use it either.
I rebuke it too.
I don't use it.
I don't receive it. Go ahead. So I'm sorry, I lost my whole concentration.
Cheerleaders, I lost the train of thought.
I was just like, wait a minute. Who was in that focus group? Okay. So
the whole thing with this is going back to the whole AI thing again. So the AI is trained to detect visual hair patterns in the images and return search results according to those patterns. The aim, says Anita, who is the head of the inclusive product team, is to, quote, help everyone feel like Pinterest is a place for them by further dividing us by hair type. Is that what you're saying? I digress. As a visual discovery platform, we We have an opportunity and a responsibility to do a better job of increasing representation in the products we build, she explains in the announcement of this. They also say they hope that they're able to use the technology for good and to make it easier for people, no matter who they are, to find hair inspiration for them on Pinterest. So here are the categories. Fasten your seatbelt. Coily, curly, wavy, straight, and shaved/bald. So queries for broader terms like summer hairstyles or short hair can then be narrowed down by selecting one of their hair patterns, ensuring that users would have an easier time finding style inspiration for the things that are most relevant to them. I'm going to stop there, except to tell you that it's currently available to users in the US, the UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. They're expecting more international regions soon. So
I saw that article, Dr. Tachi. I saw that article. I was going to go back and read it, so thank you for bringing it up. I saw it and, glanced and.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, it overcrosses both of our areas, so go ahead.
Yeah. No. I'm glad you brought it up. Because I want to do a deep dive, and then I didn't see the BIPOC. Whenever I see BIPOC, I go poop because I'm like, no. But that's another story. It's another story. But yeah.
Wow. Okay, I have a question for Dr. Tachi because I know we got to go. But I want to know how you feel about them taking down these comments over on Facebook against the Lizzo, the young. Is that how you pronounce her name? How do you pronounce her name?
Lizzo, yeah. Facebook took down the comments on her post.
Facebook, yeah, because she was being trolled and harassed about her weight and different things.
Was this Facebook or Instagram?
I believe it's Instagram.
Yeah. Because remember, they have that new tool. What's it called? We talked about it last week. They have this new tool that when someone of her stature, like in the celebrity level, they can like turn off their comments or they regulate them somehow. What was that? What was the name of that tool? But go ahead.
I just wanted to know what you ladies thought about that.
So, there's so much to this. Social media is extremely complex. I think that there are a couple of things. No one should be open to bullying, to ridicule, to comments that are detrimental. You don't know what frame of mind someone is in. And despite the fact that she seems to be really strong, very confident, and sure of herself, you don't know what those comments could be doing. But that's the case for everybody, the celebrity. So I don't necessarily agree with just singling out certain features just for people who are notable, because that could be a problem with anyone. I will also say this, though. When you know bullying is unacceptable, you know that there are people who only have the sense of 2 dead smash flies. So, and not even that much. So you have to kind of put that in your head. This is not excusing it, but you also have to know that A, when you're a public figure, and B, when you put your stuff out publicly, that C, is out there for public comment, whether you like it or not. So I think you just have to be aware that this is the nature of social media and public commentary, that you are going to get these things. If you don't want them, then shut off the comments and don't allow people to comment, or better yet, don't even put it up. And I'm not trying to say don't do that, or remove the comments that you deem to be offensive one by one. Because usually people comments that are offensive are so sad and waste of skin anyway that the only way they can feel better is by denigrating you. But that often doesn't do anything when you see it personally. It's still problematic and it still can be hurtful. But you have to know that when you are a public figure and people comment publicly, that they're you have to decide what you're going to do about that. And I'm not trying to say you can't be upset, but you have to know that comes with the territory.
No, I agree with Dr. Tachi. She's right. And the feature is called limits feature. It lets you hide comments and certain words and things. But this is the deal. She's right. You're a public figure a celebrity. So if you eat off of that, you also have to be subjected to what's coming to you. But I'm not saying that it's right that people said those things. That's wrong. But that is people. That is society. But the only thing that Instagram and Facebook and these others can give you is tools that will allow you to somehow soften the blow or block or whatever, because you're a celebrity and you want to be public.
You are a public figure.
Right. Public figure means being, if you decide to do an Instagram live or whatever, not saying it's right, but there's people out there that are going to throw stones. So how do you stop people from throwing stones? Well, you don't go live, or you put up the blocks, or there's certain tools. But I'm saying that she shouldn't have to be subjected to that. But that's people. People gonna people is what I say.
And it's the nature of the beast. I get it.
People gonna people, and they've been peopling. It's not just social media. You know, before social media, if you want to say negative something about celebrity, you would stand outside when they came out of the thing and yell something at them, or you would go to, you know, the magazine and write a letter, or you would, you know, that's what I'm saying. Now it's like social media, everybody has a voice. That's good and that's bad. But if you live by, I need to be public because I'm a celebrity, it puts me out there and I got a song to sell, then you can't get mad at the tool or society. You understand what I'm saying? You have to get mad at society.
Yeah, and all publicity,
right?
Good publicity.
So, and there's some celebrities that don't go live, that don't do this and don't do that, but they're still celebrities. They don't, you don't see them in pictures. You don't see paparazzi following them, because, you know, if you didn't know this, if you see a celebrity paparazzi everywhere, they call them. They call the paparazzi. The people who don't want to be seen, celebrities, you never see them. You never see them because they don't call the photographer.
They just go do what they do.
So that's what I'm saying. If you live by the sword, you got to die by the sword. Kind of the way it is. But if you're using social media, there are tools.
And you can hire somebody to monitor those tools. You don't have to really even.
You don't have to go live. But if you do go live, that is the tool that is like the most open to society. And it's like, let me stand on stage and they throw tomatoes. Remember that? They would throw tomatoes at the comedians or whatever. That's what it is. So you have to choose to say, I'm going to take the tomatoes, but I'm gonna put up a shield because I gotta say what I gotta say, or I'm not gonna go live at all. I'm not gonna go on the mic at all, kind of. So, but she didn't deserve that. But that's society.
Yeah. And then we just got through with the thing with the soccer players and all
ugly people. There are ugly people out there. You gotta protect your mental health, and you have to say personally, what level do I want to expose myself? I'm saying celebrity, and I'm saying in real life. What level do you want to expose yourself at? You don't have to do it.
Okay. There you go, ladies. That's everything in social media, Dr. Tachi?
In media? Yeah.
I'm done.
She dropped the mic. Okay, guys. We want to thank you for your time. We've been here a hot minute, and we want to say thank you so much for all that you do. We thank you for staying with us here on our Friday with Talk Tech Weekly. And we just want to say, hey, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. To all of you watching on Clubhouse and live, we want to thank you again. Thank you, Dr. Tachi from Florida. Thank you, TJ from New York. And thank you, Francine Gregory from Sacramento.
And Clubhouse. And thank you, Clubhouse.
Thank you, Clubhouse, for all you've done to help forward this conversation. We love you guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday for coffee, tea, thoughts and conversations with the BizChicks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.